Hi there, Leo. Welcome to my channel. I am the Tarot Muse and I am here with your weekly love reading. So let's dive straight into it. I have laid all the cards out on the table so that I can go deeper into the reading. And it's a lot of information here. So let's dive in. So starting at the present moment, we have this split that's happened between you and your partner. So either it was a partner, it was a marriage. It can be either or. And what I'm seeing is that this split was actually a very impulsive move, in the sense that it didn't allow for the communication that was needed to discuss what was going on with the relationship. And to reach a higher understanding or awareness around what the love was about, and so that decisions could then be made in a healthy way about walking away. And so what I'm seeing with this impulsive cutting is so there's a lot of pain behind it. It seems like quite a complex story. Now, what I'm sensing from the reading is that your partner was very much wanting to be seen by you and very much in love with you. And but near the end started feeling unseen and unmet and unappreciated. And it was now becoming a burden. And what ended up happening was your partner ended up having an affair with another person. So if I look at the past, what I see is you coming into their life or into each other's lives, and I sense that you may have known each other from the past. So you had met before, it wasn't completely new. And you offered stability, and you offered, because you come in as the Emperor, and the Emperor is quite a father figure, so you may have been quite a lot older. So you were a lot older, and now of course this may apply the other way around as well. So perhaps, Leo, you were approached by someone from the past. They were a lot older, and there was a promise of stability and security, and in a way building a new beginning, building a relationship in a new direction, moving forward. But what I see is that didn't play out, because I see that whoever this person is that did the cheating, or ended up with another person, they felt very much an element of betrayal, because they were not recognized or seen, or they didn't get the attention that they were due. In a relationship, it's an exchange of give and take, and it's about two people meeting each other's needs, and they didn't feel that was happening. They felt that the relationship, they were juggling the burden of the relationship, and they didn't feel seen by it. And I sense on the other person's part, which may have been you, there was an element of apathy for you, and perhaps you were so focused on something else, which I sense may have been work, that you did not see them, and they felt like a burden to you. So perhaps, your initial promise of stability and holding the relationship in a sort of father figure way, that kind of, it didn't follow through. And so the relationship started meeting some kind of stalemate, where this person then ended up having an affair with someone else. Because what I see is, there's a very, very abrupt ending, and so for either one or both of you, the relationship was becoming too traditional, too oppressive in a traditional sense. It didn't have enough spark or playfulness or enjoyment anymore. So what ended up happening was the relationship is in the process of dissolving. It's coming to an end, and then what I see in the future is this process of meeting the pain around what has happened and the lessons that are needing to be learned around what has happened for both parties. You know, it's always both parties learning from this. So in this case, I see you going into this sort of disconnected space and going really inwards with your pain and really meeting what's going on in your mind around it and trying to master your attachment to what has happened. And when I say master your attachment to what has happened, you know, when we go through something intense, it's on our minds all the time. We can't help not turn it around and around. What did I do wrong? Where did I go wrong? And I also feel this a little bit deeper, because the card that's coming up in the Osho deck is the comparisons card. Comparison. And along next to that we have the intensity card. So this experience is very intense. It's an intense experience in the sense that it's a shock to the system, it's potentially painful, and it may potentially also be stirring up wounds from the past that you're not at this point conscious of. So with the comparison card, I sense that this has to do with the other man that or the other woman that your partner went off with. And if the roles are reversed, in your case, Leo, it's you who went off with the other person. So the affair that happened. So the comparison is comparing self to, and I sense that it's you that's doing the comparing. I sense that it was your partner, Leo, that went off with somebody else. And really processing the pain around that. Like, am I not good enough? But the thing is that, to begin with, you were not fully present in the relationship, or there was not a full presence in the relationship. And there wasn't full integrity, there wasn't a full meeting of two people. And so in a way, that other person that got pulled in was the shattering that needed to happen to make everybody realize, okay, we're playing out some kind of an illusion here. And that's what I see is happening right now for you. You really are, in a way, you've created this situation. Let me rephrase that. The other person, the third person who the partner had an affair with, in a way, this is all a perfect creation, albeit unconscious, to show us how it is that we delude ourselves, how it is that we delude ourselves and others around who we are and love. And so it's a shock for you right now, because you're kind of sitting with that. And I can see that there's a struggle around work, and there's a struggle around aloneness, and there's a struggle around loss at the moment for you, Leo. For your partner, I see her in a little bit of a healthier position. I see her as the Queen of Wands. So I sense she or he was quite a sexual, playful, vivacious character to begin with, and so it makes sense that, you know, the natural step is to find someone else to have fun with, because they're not getting it from their partner, which is you, Leo. And of course that would be a big bruise to the Leo ego, because Leo wants to be the center of attention. So what the partner is going through, so I can see that this connection with the other person, who is represented as the King of Swords. So he could have, or she could have been a Capricorn, an earth sign, an air sign, a Gemini, a Libra, or a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius. Okay, I generally see King of Swords more as like a Capricorn and a Aquarius sign. So one of those, and I can see that the intimacy and the fun that happened between the two of them has come to an end. It's completed its cycle, and that now she's sitting, he or she, this partner is sitting with what has happened, the adultery that happened, or sort of meeting, okay, I was with someone else, and perhaps even going through some kind of mourning around that, or confusion around that. Okay, so that's where that person is at. And then when I look at the relationship, what I see is that it's, well, the representation of the relationship right now is the Ten of Swords, and this is an image of a man lying face down on the ground with like 10 swords stabbed in his back. So it's like it's dead, it's done. And the realization that the offering of love that met both your dreams and inspiration when you first met was not to be trusted, because it wasn't sincere. And this could have been for both of you. There's a reason why two people meet each other. There's a reason why people are drawn together. We meet where we're at. We meet what we're needing to see within ourselves and what we're needing to learn. And for a lot of us right now on the planet, and I'm seeing it with all the readings that I'm doing, I'm not getting, happy romance. I'm getting some very hard lessons coming through. Things are really intense on the planet right now, and we're needing to learn some hard lessons. We're needing to meet our shadow, and that's what's going on, and it's all okay. It's a process that we're needing to go through. So this process is very much around healing, and for you, I really see that starting to happen, Leo. So in the conscious here, what I see is this this paradigm shift around, where is it that I'm rigid? Where is it that I don't allow myself to play enough? Where is it that I don't allow myself to be a part of the community or the world enough? And so perhaps starting to explore those themes within yourself, like where is it that you hold control very tightly? Because the word control comes up quite strongly in the reading. Like I get a very strong sense of control and rigidity, control and rigidity. So that's starting to happen. That your mind is really starting to explore and examine. Okay, where is it that I'm rigid and I don't allow myself to experience pleasure fully, which is very contrary for Leo, because Leo is all about pleasure. It's ruled by the sun. And sometimes there's certain periods in our lives where we're going through things, and this may be one of those periods where you're starting to work with some shadow work, and that's okay. We're not at our shiniest and our happiest during those moments. So what I see happening in the subconscious here, and you not entirely be conscious of it, but it's this it's the Wheel of Fortune preceded by the King of Pentacles. And basically I see you starting to take charge of your happiness again on an unconscious level, whilst meeting all of this pain and suffering and shadow work. There's a silver lining underneath it that's starting to come through, and it's leading you to really knowing what your wants and needs are. Because again, sometimes we enter into relationships with false hopes or false impressions or false expectations or misleading. Perhaps it's coming from loneliness or fear or need for attention or unresolved issues with past relationships, And so, as the Justice card is about cause and effect, and where you're at is what you get, and what you put in is what you get. And so that's what's happened here. And this is what you're starting to learn and realize and understand. Now, what I see with the future, the outcome, I do see you, this going through the dissolving of all the illusions that were playing out within this relationship, and then actually taking the time out just to rest from it and just to give yourself space, in the future. Yes, so that there's new emotional beginnings from the control, so that some kind of new harmony can come through for you. So I do see that starting to shift. And then what I also see here in the future is so this work that happens, this working towards finding a better way of meeting conflict in relationships, or not just conflict, but also how to become a better team leader in a relationship, how to work towards some kind of balance and resolution instead of impulsively ending things or cutting things, or learning how to hear the other person, learning how to see the other person and meet the other person and understand what the other person's needs are, so that none of this needs to happen again. Now, two last cards that I want to bring up. The first one is going with the flow. So this is intense right now, but just let it take you. It's really intense, but it's taking you somewhere. It's allowing you to meet deeper parts of yourself, of your shadow, and through this you get to know yourself better and what your needs are and what is important for you, and you connect deeper with integrity. And then lastly, just a confirmation that this was happening. Involvement with a busy individual who hardly finds the time to see you, or with a married person who shares his time between two lovers. In any case, you don't get the quality time you expected. So this is what was going on for your partner. They didn't feel seen by you, and they didn't get the quality time that they wanted. In which case, ask yourself, why were you not able to provide that? What was that apathy for you about? Or, what were all the other things that were more important than the relationship that you were in? Alright, so thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you're interested in a reading, my email address is in the description box. And last but not least, feel free to leave your comments. I always appreciate to hear what you have to say. Thank you for watching, and see you next week. Bye.